The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers us a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of life. Founded in Athens in the 3rd century BC, Stoicism emphasizes virtue, reason, and living in accordance with nature. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and actions, while accepting what we cannot. In a world often characterized by uncertainty and change, Stoicism provides timeless wisdom. It guides us toward a life of tranquility, resilience, and fulfillment. At the heart of Stoicism lie 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice. These virtues are interconnected and represent the fundamental principles for living a good and meaningful life. They provide a moral compass, guiding our decisions and shaping our character. By cultivating these virtues, the Stoics believed that we could achieve true happiness. This state of eudaimonia, as they called it, is not about fleeting pleasure, but a deep and enduring sense of contentment. In today's fast-paced and often overwhelming world, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective and practical tools for finding peace and fulfillment. The principles of Stoicism are not bound by time or culture. They address universal human experiences and challenges that remain relevant centuries later. We live in a world saturated with information, constant stimulation, and an endless pursuit of external validation. This often leads to stress, anxiety, and a sense of dissatisfaction. Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus inward, cultivating inner peace and contentment. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. We develop the ability to respond to challenges with greater resilience and equanimity. In an age of instant gratification, these virtues remind us of the importance of moderation and self-control. It encourages us to resist excesses and find balance in all areas of life. This includes our consumption of material goods, our pursuit of pleasure, and our reactions to both success and failure. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, is not merely the accumulation of information, but the ability to understand and apply knowledge in a way that leads to a virtuous and fulfilling life. It involves a deep understanding of ourselves, the world around us, and our place within the grand scheme of things. As the philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "The beginning of wisdom is the definition of good things." For the Stoics, this pursuit of knowledge was not simply an intellectual exercise, but a moral imperative. They believed that by understanding the true nature of good and evil, we could make choices that aligned with virtue and led to a life of tranquility and fulfillment. This pursuit of wisdom required constant self-reflection, a willingness to challenge our own beliefs, and an openness to learning from both our experiences and the wisdom of others. The Stoics believed that true wisdom was not something that could be attained overnight, but rather a lifelong journey of learning and growth. Wisdom for the Stoics was about discerning between what is true and false, important and unimportant. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." The Stoics emphasized living in accordance with principles, not just theorizing. True wisdom manifested in action, choices, and living a virtuous life. The Stoics believed that true wisdom should be actively cultivated and applied in our daily lives. They offered practical advice to navigate challenges, make better decisions, and live fulfilling lives. One key principle was mindfulness. This involved paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we could gain clarity and make intentional choices. The Stoics also emphasized virtue as the sole good. True happiness stemmed from living in accordance with virtue. Temperance, the second virtue in the Stoic quartet, is often misunderstood. It is not about deprivation or strict abstinence. Instead, it speaks to moderation, balance, and self-control. It's about enjoying life's pleasures, but not being enslaved by them. As Epictetus wisely noted, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This quote encapsulates the essence of temperance. It's about recognizing that true freedom comes not from indulging every whim and desire, but from having the self-mastery to choose wisely. Think of a charioteer holding the reins of powerful horses. Temperance is the skill of the charioteer, the ability to guide and control those powerful forces, our desires, so they don't pull us off course. It's about finding the sweet spot between indulgence and deprivation, recognizing that excess in any area of life can ultimately lead to unhappiness. This applies to our consumption of food and drink, our pursuit of wealth and possessions, even our emotions. Imagine a scale. On one side, we pile on our desires. The other side, representing our self-control, struggles to maintain balance. This image illustrates the challenge of temperance in a world of excess. We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need more. Yet the Stoics urge us to question these assumptions and ask ourselves what truly brings lasting happiness. Imagine for a moment a life where you are no longer ruled by impulsive desires, where you are free from the constant need for more. This is the freedom that temperance offers. It is not a restrictive freedom, but a liberating one. A freedom that comes from self-mastery and the ability to make choices aligned with our values. When we practice temperance, we break free from the chains of instant gratification and the relentless pursuit of fleeting pleasures. We develop the inner strength to resist temptations that ultimately lead to unhappiness and instead focus on what truly matters. This freedom allows us to approach life with a sense of calm and clarity. We are no longer at the mercy of our impulses, but rather we become masters of ourselves. This self-mastery extends to all areas of our lives. Courage. The very word evokes images of heroic feats, of facing down danger without flinching. Yet the Stoic understanding of courage goes far deeper than mere physical bravery. It recognizes that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. As Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." This profound statement challenges our preconceived notions of what it means to be courageous. It reminds us that courage is not reserved for soldiers on the battlefield or firefighters charging into burning buildings. It is a virtue we need every single day in the face of everyday challenges and anxieties. We all experience fear. It is a natural human emotion, a primal response to perceived threats. The Stoics understood this, but they refused to let fear paralyze them. They recognized that true courage lies in acknowledging our fears, examining them rationally, and then choosing to act in accordance with our values, even when our knees are shaking. Each of us harbors inner demons, those nagging voices of doubt, insecurity, and fear that whisper insidious suggestions in the quiet corners of our minds. They urge us to play it safe, to avoid risks, to settle for a life less than we envision. The Stoics believed that true courage required confronting these inner demons head-on, refusing to let them dictate our choices or limit our potential. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal meditations, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to facing our fears. It's about recognizing that our obstacles are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth and self-mastery. Instead of shying away from what frightens us, we should lean into the discomfort, embracing challenges as opportunities to cultivate courage. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to fit in, to follow the prescribed path, the Stoics offer a radical proposition: the courage to live authentically. This means having the courage to define our own values, to listen to our moral compass, and to live a life that is true to ourselves, even when it differs from the expectations of others. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." This quote reminds us that embracing our authentic selves often requires letting go of old patterns, beliefs, and expectations that no longer serve us. It might mean walking away from a career that no longer inspires us, even if it means financial uncertainty. It might mean setting boundaries in relationships that are no longer healthy, even if it means risking disapproval. It might simply mean pursuing passions that bring us joy, even if they don't make sense to others. Justice, the final virtue in the Stoic quartet, is often associated with courts of law and legal systems. While it certainly encompasses these aspects, the Stoic understanding of justice runs far deeper. It's about acting with fairness and kindness in all our interactions, treating others with respect and dignity regardless of their station in life. It's about recognizing the inherent worth of every human being and acting accordingly. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of Stoic justice. It's about aligning our actions and our words with our values, ensuring that we are living with integrity, even when no one is watching. The Stoics had a profound understanding of our interconnectedness as human beings. They believed that we are all part of a larger web of life, that our actions have ripple effects, impacting not only ourselves, but also those around us and the world at large. This realization formed the foundation of their concept of justice. They understood that acting justly was not simply a matter of following rules or avoiding punishment. It was about recognizing that our well-being is intricately linked to the well-being of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Constantly regard the universe as one living being, having one substance and one soul." This quote beautifully illustrates the Stoic view of the interconnected nature of all things. We are not isolated individuals, but rather we are part of something much greater than ourselves. When we harm another person, we are in essence harming ourselves. For the Stoics, justice was not merely a set of rules to be followed or an abstract ideal to be admired. It was a way of life, a guiding principle that permeated every aspect of their existence. It was about showing up in the world with integrity, treating others with fairness and respect. This commitment to justice was not always easy. The Stoics understood that life is full of challenges, yet they believed that by cultivating a strong moral compass, we could navigate these challenges with integrity. Living justly means speaking up against injustice, even when it feels uncomfortable or risky. It means making choices that align with our values. As we have explored each of the Stoic virtues, wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice, it becomes evident that these are not isolated principles to be mastered independently. Instead, they are intricately interconnected, each one supporting and reinforcing the others, forming a harmonious whole that guides us toward a life of virtue and fulfillment. Wisdom, the foundation upon which the other virtues rest, provides the clarity to discern right from wrong, to understand the consequences of our actions, and to make choices that are aligned with our values. It is through wisdom that we gain the self-awareness to recognize our own strengths and weaknesses, and to navigate the complexities of life with greater understanding and purpose. Temperance, with its emphasis on moderation and self-control, tempers our passions and desires, preventing them from pulling us off course. It allows us to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them, freeing us from the tyranny of excess and the endless pursuit of more. The Stoics understood that embodying these virtues is not a destination, but a lifelong journey, a continuous process of self-reflection, learning and growth. They recognized that we will inevitably stumble along the way, making mistakes, facing setbacks, and encountering situations that test our commitment to living virtuously. Yet, they believed that these challenges are not failures, but rather opportunities for learning and growth. Each time we fall short of our ideals, we have a chance to examine our actions, learn from our mistakes, and recommit to aligning ourselves with the Stoic virtues. This process of self-reflection and course correction is essential for our moral development, allowing us to refine our understanding of the virtues and to integrate them more fully into our lives. The Stoics did not believe in perfection, but in progress, in the constant striving to become better versions of ourselves. Thank you for watching. If you wish to see more inspirational and Stoic content, like and subscribe. Until next time, farewell.